When a public figure defends a controversial friend, the outcome can go in two very different directions. Sometimes it softens public perception. Other times it amplifies scrutiny. That second scenario unfolded after model and television personality Chrissy Teigen spoke warmly about Meghan Markle in a recent interview, only for parts of her own account to ignite a wave of skepticism online. During the conversation, Teigen described Meghan as resilient, compassionate, and unfairly criticized. She portrayed the Duchess of Sussex as someone who prioritizes family and close relationships while trying to live a relatively private life. The message was clear. In her view, Meghan is misunderstood rather than controversial. However, what captured the internet's attention was not the praise itself, but a detail that seemed to contradict the image of deep friendship she was presenting. When asked about family life and whether their children spend time together, Teigen reportedly acknowledged that their kids have never met. For many observers, this revelation raised eyebrows. Both women are parents of young children living in the United States, and public perception often equates close friendships between parents with shared family interactions. Online commentators quickly debated whether this absence of interaction undermined the idea of a close bond. Some argued that genuine friendships do not always involve family gatherings, especially for high-profile individuals with security concerns and demanding schedules. Others felt the admission suggested the relationship might be less personal and more professional. Teigen attempted to explain the situation by noting that she spends much of her time at home and tends to keep a low profile. But critics questioned why, if that were the case, visits could not occur privately. Supporters countered that celebrity life rarely resembles ordinary social dynamics, and assumptions about normal friendships may not apply. The discussion escalated because it tapped into a broader narrative surrounding Meghan's public life, since she and Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, stepped back from royal duties in 2020 and moved to California. The couple's transition from working royals to independent public figures has been intensely scrutinized, with every partnership, friendship, and business venture analyzed for meaning. Another moment from the interview that resurfaced online involved Meghan's lifestyle brand launch, American Riviera Orchard. Some viewers recalled earlier footage in which Teigen appeared uncertain about products reportedly sent to her. Critics framed this as evidence of distance between the two women, while supporters dismissed it as a trivial misunderstanding amplified by hindsight. Such incidents illustrate how small details can take on outsized significance in the digital age. A single awkward exchange or forgotten detail can be interpreted as proof of larger narratives, authenticity, opportunism, loyalty, or lack thereof, depending on the viewer's perspective. Complicating matters further is Teigen's own controversial past. She previously faced backlash over social media posts widely condemned as hurtful, leading to public apologies and a temporary retreat from online platforms. Because of this history, some commentators argued that her endorsement might not carry the persuasive power it once would have. Others pushed back, suggesting that past mistakes should not invalidate someone's present opinions or friendships. They emphasized that personal growth and accountability are possible, and that public figures are often judged more harshly than private individuals. The debate soon expanded beyond the interview itself. Analysts and commentators began discussing the nature of celebrity friendships in general. In Hollywood, relationships frequently operate within overlapping networks of publicists, agents, brand partnerships, and media obligations. As a result, what appears to outsiders as a close friendship may actually be a professional alliance, or vice versa. In Meghan's case, this ambiguity has been a recurring theme. Since relocating to the United States, she has been photographed with a wide range of prominent figures across entertainment, philanthropy, and business. Yet relatively little is publicly known about her day-to-day private life, particularly concerning her children. Security concerns, privacy preferences, and the couple's past experiences with media intrusion likely contribute to this discretion. Unlike many celebrities who share family moments on social media, the Sussexes rarely release images of their children, making it difficult for the public to assess personal relationships through typical visual cues. The situation highlights a larger tension between public curiosity and personal boundaries. Audiences often expect transparency from high-profile figures, especially those who speak about authenticity or social issues. At the same time, those figures may deliberately maintain distance to protect their families. As the online reaction intensified, it became less about one interview and more about competing interpretations of Meghan's public persona. To some, she remains a symbol of independence and reinvention after leaving the royal institution. To others, she represents calculated image management. Teigen's comments became a new data point in that ongoing debate rather than a definitive statement. Notably, neither Meghan nor Prince Harry publicly responded to the discussion, maintaining their usual approach of addressing only major controversies through official channels. This silence allowed commentators and social media users to shape the narrative without direct clarification. Ultimately, the episode demonstrates how fragile public perception can be. A supportive interview intended to humanize a friend instead triggered questions about authenticity, closeness, and credibility. In the ecosystem of modern celebrity culture, intent matters less than interpretation. What began as praise evolved into a case study in how quickly narratives can shift and how difficult it is to control them once they take on their own life.
While the interview dominated online discussion, it also intersected with broader commentary about Meghan Markle's role in American public life. Since moving to California, she has pursued a mix of media production, philanthropy, and entrepreneurial ventures, a portfolio that invites both admiration and critique. Television personalities and commentators across the political spectrum have weighed in on her transition from royal duties to independent celebrity status. Some praise her for forging a new path outside traditional monarchy constraints. Others question whether her accomplishments match the level of visibility she receives. For example, media figures such as Billy Bush have publicly discussed the tension between Meghan's stated desire for privacy and her continued appearances at high-profile events. Observers point out that visibility is often necessary to sustain philanthropic initiatives and brand partnerships, while critics interpret it as inconsistency. Similarly, conservative commentator Dana Loesch has argued that Meghan's influence stems largely from her marriage into the royal family rather than independent achievements. Supporters reject this framing, emphasizing her acting career, advocacy work, and global platform prior to marriage. These competing narratives illustrate how polarized public opinion has become. Meghan is not merely a celebrity, she is a cultural figure onto whom broader debates about feminism, privilege, race, media power, and monarchy are projected. Another focal point has been her business ventures. Projects associated with the Sussexes, including documentaries, podcasts, and lifestyle branding, have generated substantial attention, though results have varied. In the streaming industry, initial curiosity does not always translate to long-term success, and every release is judged against both commercial performance and cultural impact. Meanwhile, Prince Harry has continued to emphasize charitable work, particularly through the Invictus Games, an international sporting event he founded for wounded service personnel. This initiative predates his marriage and relocation, providing continuity in his public identity even as other aspects of his life have changed. Together, the couple's activities reflect a hybrid model of public engagement, part celebrity, part philanthropy, part advocacy.
This model differs sharply from the structured roles they held within the monarchy, where duties, messaging, and public appearances followed established protocols. The contrast contributes to ongoing speculation about whether reconciliation with the royal family is possible or even desirable. While occasional reports suggest private communication between Harry and his relatives, there has been no sustained public reintegration into official royal life. Public opinion also varies geographically. In the United States, Meghan often receives coverage framed around celebrity culture and entrepreneurship. In the United Kingdom, discussions frequently center on monarchy, tradition, and constitutional symbolism. Navigating both audiences simultaneously presents unique challenges. Celebrity friendships play a role in this landscape as well. Associations with figures such as Serena Williams highlight Meghan's connections within elite circles, but they also invite scrutiny whenever those relationships appear less visible than expected. Absence of public interaction can be interpreted in multiple ways: privacy, distance, scheduling conflicts, or shifting priorities. Charitable affiliations further complicate the picture. Organizations Meghan supported earlier in her career sometimes re-enter headlines for unrelated reasons, reviving discussion of her past involvement. This phenomenon reflects a broader truth about public life. Associations persist long after formal roles end. Through it all, Meghan's central challenge remains image coherence. Reinvention is common among celebrities, but few transitions are as dramatic as moving from working royal to independent global personality. Each step forward is evaluated against competing expectations: royal decorum, Hollywood authenticity, activist credibility, and entrepreneurial success. The debate sparked by Teigen's interview ultimately feeds into this larger story. It is not simply about one friendship or one comment. It is about how narratives form around public figures and how those narratives resist simplification. For supporters, Meghan represents autonomy and resilience in the face of intense scrutiny. For critics, she symbolizes media savvy and strategic self-promotion. For many observers, she's both, a complex figure navigating unprecedented circumstances. As media attention continues, the key question is not whether criticism or praise will dominate, but whether the Sussexes can establish a stable, long-term identity outside the monarchy's shadow. Success in that endeavor depends less on individual interviews or controversies and more on sustained, credible achievements over time. In the end, celebrity culture thrives on cycles of attention. Interviews spark debate, debate fuels coverage, and coverage sustains relevance. The episode involving Chrissy Teigen is simply one moment in an ongoing narrative, a reminder that in the modern media environment, perception can shift overnight, but it rarely disappears entirely.